We're lucky enough today to have the first podcast of the Sunrisers, but more importantly, we've got the great Jonny Bairstow with us. So Jonny, it must have been a good result last night for you to actually be on the winning team with Bhumi, with you not pulling your pants down for the last couple of months. So that must have been a really good start.
It sure was. It's been good. It's been good to just face him in the nets, not face him out in the middle, because that was torture through the Indian series. I was quite happy I was batting at 4 in the T20s when he had it on a string. But no, it was good to get the win last night, and hopefully it's the first of a few to come.
Yeah, it was a good start. I thought after losing the toss and having to chase on that wicket, as we've seen over the last few games in Chennai, it's been difficult. But to have Kane back, it looked like it gave us a lot of stability in that middle order, but it also allowed you to free up a bit and play the natural game.
Yeah, that pitch was different to, I think, all of the pitches that we've seen so far. In Chennai, it was a lot slower than the rest of them. I think previously they've had a bit more of a glaze on the top. So, it was different, and naturally we wanted to bat first to try and utilise any newness of the pitch, really. I think that's the best way of putting it. Having Kane back, it's great to have him back in the side and fully fit. We all know his qualities that he brings, and hopefully the man to my left is okay for the next games.
Speaking about your man to the left, it's one of the Indian greats, a master with that new ball or old ball in his hand. But Bhuvi, leader of our attack, had a few changes to the attack with different wickets over the last 4 games, but looked like each and every one of you complemented each other last night.
Yes, everyone did, especially Khalil. The way we bowled with in the power play, and of course, no back-ended the inning. So, but if you look at Rashid, even Abhishek bowled well. So I think, like you said, everyone complemented each other, and that's what you need as a bowling unit.
Yeah, I thought the one I was impressed with last night was Abhishek. He hasn't bowled much domestically. We gave him the responsibility to take the first over, and I just did a little bit of research, and we were chatting about this last night, Jonny. They told him about 1 minute before he had to do. I thought that was really good tactically, because Abby wouldn't have slept for 2 days if he had known that. So he did a good job to bowl some experienced batters up top.
Definitely. So, but more than everything, apart from his skills, I feel that he was mentally prepared for that.
Yeah.
Because when I was talking to him, he was like, okay, he was ready to take that opportunity and challenge that. It's never easy to bowl with a new ball, especially in the power play and against someone like KL or Gale. So I think he was spot on what he was doing.
Yeah, and we've seen Khalil come in, big, tall left-hander. I watch him at breakfast time. You sit down and he just looks wherever you are to find your way over there, like our younger batters with Jonny. So it's been good. I think he's bowled smart. He's bowled with a bit of pace, used his change up well. He got reward last night.
Yeah, he has bowled with pace, like you say. In that first game when he came in, there was a few that really flew through to me. I was stood about 5 yards too close. I was way too close. And then utilising his angle and his slow balls going across the right-hander, I think is such a big weapon. And especially on these pitches, if you've got a slow ball that's going away from the batter, you're in the game. And look, he's done a lot of work. He's been talking to the right people, he's been listening to the right people, and he's starting to execute those skills that he's been talking about doing. And we know the qualities that he's got, but it's about executing them out in the middle. And look, he's reaping the rewards, especially in the last couple of games.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed since my time here, he wants to learn. You see from Dubai to now, he's gone away, worked on a few things, he looks a lot stronger. He's got a few more tricks to what he's bowling now, a few slower balls. He's got his own ideas, which is good, and sometimes not so good.
Taking 3 new balls in the net when it's doing everything.
I think that's the biggest thing.
This is your progression.
This one's not swinging. Give me another new one.
Yeah, he seems to always find the ball that swings in. That's one thing also, Bhuvi, that I found here. It hasn't swung as much as...
Not at all.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I think it generally swings when you play against CSK, the way they prepare the wicket. But now we know it's a neutral venue for 5 teams, so I don't know what Kyoto is thinking. But yeah, it didn't swing at all. We were expecting to swing in the first match at least, but since then our mindset is totally different. We know that's not gonna swing. We have to bring different tricks, bowling cutters or bowling slow bouncers. So that really worked for us.
Yeah, and one thing too, Johnny. Yes, we'll get to your batting very soon because you've played some good knocks for us. But one thing I want to talk about is your keeping. You've got the best seat in the house to Rashid. You're always in the game, and that must be an enjoyable part of IPL, playing with some of the great spinners like that, keeping to different wickets that you used to at home. You used to the ball wobbling around, breaking fingers with those rock duke balls. But Rashid,
those times, mate.
I'm sitting here, my fingers are stuck to the panel.
Yeah, it's brilliant. As you say, the best seat in the house, but not the best when you can't pick him. If you don't pick him and then you're not sure which way it's going, it still is the best seat in the house.
Yeah,
because watching the batters try and pick him is definitely not the place you want to be. But no, it's great, like you say, keeping to someone like Rash. The pace in which he bowls at and getting it to go both ways at that pace is a remarkable skill. And the success that he's had over a number of years now in the IPL and around the world is a testament to his work ethic and his skill set. He's still someone that's learning every training session, and now he's bowling his leg spinner a lot more than he has previously. I think that's just opened up a whole new aspect to his bowling because people are unsure as to exactly which way he's going. Potentially last year or the year before, he was always trying to just bring the stumps into play, but now he's getting people like we saw last night to Chris Gale to trap him LB and do that at the pace that he's bowling is. I'm pleased that I'm keeping to him and not facing him at the moment.
Yeah, and if he decides to play catch in the field, there'll be an all-round package. You can bowl, bat, and catch.
or put your sunglasses on.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. He said he couldn't see the ball. We said use your sunglasses. He goes, they're on my head. So they're just those little things, preparation.
But that's Rash, isn't it? That's Rash. We still forget that he's only 22, 23 years old.
17.
And
so which one is the real? 17 or 24?
I thought it was 28. That's Nabi. So I think people forget how young he is, and it's part and parcel of being that young and learning and the success that he's had.
I think one of the things I've enjoyed over the last week or so, we started the tournament slow. We probably should have won 2 of those 3 games at the start, but it was the senior players that I think got around the young guys, simplified everything we're doing, picked out the good things we're doing, and just recognised some of the moments where we had to get a little bit better and take onus of that going into last night's game. So, Bhuvi, from a bowling point of view, it looked like the bowls were really clear in what they had to do last night. If you got hit, that's okay, but they had some really clear plans and looked like they learned from the previous 2 games.
I think that's what you want from bowling side, regardless of you're going for run or not. But you want bowlers to be clear what they want. The execution could be different on days, but you want that what they want from the wicket, especially to specific batsman. And if you look at the first 2 games, that yes, it was just 150. But if you want to be really hard on yourself, we could have stop them on 130, 135 if you really want to be critical. But yeah, that's what we learned from the first 2 matches, and we bought those smaller things, cutters, Yorkers, because on slow wickets you sometimes forget bowling Yorkers because you just keep relying on slower balls and slower bouncers. So I think those are the few things which we bought in the last game.
Absolutely, I think that the clarity on the plans has been the biggest thing from the bowler's point of view, and also the batter's point of view. Like you said, simplifying things. You've also got to remember that the guys have only come together only a couple of weeks before. They've been sat in a hotel room for 7 days. They're so eager to get out there to be playing, and we've got a young side as well. We've got to remember that, and the eagerness, the way in which we want to be playing our cricket is taking the positive option, is backing your own skills, but coupled with the smarter side of it. So you don't want to take that rawness, you don't want to take that power game, you don't want to take the exuberance of the young guys away, because that's fantastic. And yes, there'll be people that say, oh well, he shouldn't have played that shot, he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that, but he's had the he's had the nouries to take that on,
Yeah.
because he backs himself to hit that for 6, or he backs himself to play that shot, and that's a great place for us to be if we can harness that with being smart.
And another thing I think was different with this IPL is getting, you don't have that home ground advantage, and you still got to making sure you're building that environment where when you get out in the field, you make the environment uncomfortable, you own the ground you're playing. And I thought we did that better in the last 2 games. I thought we had a real presence in the field. We created an environment where it was enjoyable. Guys wanted to be involved. They were finding ways to get in. There's a couple of good run-outs, some good catches. So that shows the boys' attitude was really good after the 3 losses in a row.
Yes, it did. I mean, that was a complete match for us. Generally, you don't get a perfect wicket for batting or bowling. You just one team does it well, and other department make it perfect for each other. So that's what exactly happened in the last match. Especially fielding is something which we were talking about, that we want to win the game with fielding, or at least create at least one of the magic moment which could change the momentum. And like you talked about Rashid, he could bat, bowl, and of course fielding is
Sort of field at the moment. So.
Yeah. could be that sunglass could have made a difference. So I think you always want that perfect match, and I would say it's not too late for us to had that win, so we can build things from here on.
I think, like you alluded to with the aspect of the home grounds and playing in Chennai, we've got 5 of our games that have been in Chennai in the whole competition. So I think that's a...
And just one thing,
go.
Before the first match, pre-match thing, somebody told me that we never won any match in Chepauk. So I was worried because you were playing 5 matches.
And we lost the first 3.
Exactly.
But it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because you look at the other teams that are playing in Mumbai, and the way that they're playing and the scores that are in Mumbai. Obviously, Kings came down to Chennai, and that was their first game, and it was completely different for them. Yeah. Like, you can see that their whole setup of the team changed, the way in which they tried to go about it changed, and to lose 5 wickets straight away was, well, not straight away, but to lose the wickets throughout the innings, so that then they weren't able to capitalise on the end was a big part of it. So understanding, and I think everyone at home understanding that the scores are going to be lower, so people with a lower strike rate in Chennai, it's going to happen. And you can't compare like for like from Mumbai to Chennai, you've got to compare like for like in Chennai, because the wickets are so different here.
Yeah, and that's from senior players' point of view. I've noticed you 2 guys starting to take a lot more responsibility with that, because if you look at the tactics here, you've got to play a certain style of game here that's effective. You've got to pick different teams maybe for different venues, and now moving to places like Mumbai, we seen last night, 220 was nearly chased down. So a big part of 2020, it's not just a hit and giggle, it's tactically you've got to be on your matchups. Every ball makes a difference, and I've seen you guys take a big onus in tactics, especially with the bowlers. I know, Jonny, you enjoy that part of the game with the batters and change momentum of the game, but is that something that comes natural, or it's started to work with that over time?
I think the more you play the game, it comes through as well. Like
Also the experience.
Your experiences of it, and being around different people. Like, for me, being around, like, obviously Kane and Davey, guys that have been very successful around the world from a batting point of view, really helps. But then coupling that with the experiences of playing for England over a period of time as well, whether that be in India, whether that be in England, whether that be in Australia, all of it comes together. Yeah. And similarly I'm sure with your bowling, like the people that you've talked to over a period of time, if it's not swinging, you know your go-tos.
I think it does help a lot. So we have got many players in India. I mean, IPL is so versatile that you've got many players from different countries. You talk to them, especially when it doesn't swing. So it's against my nature of bowling. So they used to struggle initially. So I mean, so it used to be a surprise for me when it doesn't swing. So
It's a surprise to us too.
Yeah,
We're used to just swinging into our front pads. So.
the lighting. Not when you're bowling for us. When I'm facing you. It's like Christmas. It's like, yes, thank you.
First match, I imagine that Johnny's betting. But
I'm just hoping you're not playing in England with the Dukes, mate, in the summer. I'm sure all the lads will be thinking, please, Bhuvi, now.
But I think T20 is taught me a lot more than test or one day, because it's so fast that you have to adapt things very quickly. It could be in a game or it could be in a practice or over some time. So I think that's something which taught me to adapt things in test matches also. So there are few deliveries, or if you look nowadays, people use Yorker more in test matches because they know that no one expects to bowl that. So I mean, these things which we brought into different formats from T20.
I tell you another thing that's different now is we're in the bubble, which is a different lifestyle to everyone is used to, but that's been the norm over the last 18 months. But we're lucky here. I was listening last night. We had the FIFA challenge, Bhuvi.
Yeah.
You and Saha.
Me, Saha, Jason Holder.
How loud is Jason Holder in that? He's that competitive.
He
races to the lift to try to win the first to the lift.
So and he wasn't
I'm not getting in his way.
and he wasn't scoring any goals. It was just he was tackling, and with a successful tackle, he was screaming a lot. That's him.
Yeah.
So
He's funny.
So, but his partner is Goswami. So he plays on his own. He forgets that he's playing with a team. So he takes the ball till the post, and then he's like, "Where's Jason?" Jason's at the post.
And the poker game, mate, that was
loud.
Mate, I reckon that finished at 5 o'clock last night.
I don't know who won. I think they called it quits.
I think Davey won.
Davey. Yeah, he's aggressive with his poker.
The rich get richer.
That's true. Very true.
That's true.
Very true.
But the question was he buying himself back in and just going, oh yeah, come on, keep going.
I lost to him. I don't know how much it was. It was all in.
All in?
Yeah, so I lost. It was a good cards, but I lost.
He's bullying.
Yeah.
But you've got to come up with different things, don't you?
Yeah.
During the bubble, we've seen guys down at the gym. I've seen Mario set some programs. I've never seen more beats weights used in my life down there. We talk about Goswami. I've never seen a human do so many bicep curls. But you've got to pass time somehow. So he also brings out the mischief side in players. Who have you found in the bubble that can be up to mischief?
Priam.
Yeah, I agree.
Priam. He's the one that's up to mischief. He's the first one to try and cake bash you. He's the first one to just sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And he's always the quiet one. Oh, I don't understand. He understands.
But he keeps quiet in front of me because I know him since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So we practice at the same place. So he somehow keeps quiet in front of me and try not to miss him.
I want you to get man of the match to see if he bashes you.
No, what we need, I think, from our viewers today, we need some questions that come in or some tactics we can use to get PG back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Revenge.
Priam
Garg
We're
revenge.
into anything. So if you can throw anything to us, we're open to it all. But I'll tell you one thing he is, though, PG. He's a good dancer. I know you have a few parties afterwards, but...
I've never seen him.
You haven't seen him dance. When they hit the dance floor. But the thing that concerns me, they just break into dance anyway. Like, you'll be in the lift and it'll be packed and you're worrying about your personal space, and they'll hear a song come over the lift and they're straight in.
That's funny.
Yeah, but what else from here? We've got one more game here. Mm-hmm. We know these conditions well. Then we're off to Delhi. Mm-hmm. And what do we expect there? Similar wicket?
Not sure. Generally, it's similar kind of wickets, but we have played domestic a month back there, so wickets were quite good there, flat wickets. Generally, what Delhi's used to be. So depends how they make it. If they're gonna leave a layer of a grass there, it's gonna make it a more batting wicket, and that's what we want basically now. So I think we are tired of these kind of wickets. I know being a bowling unit, you love those wickets, but I think not good for cricket. So I hope we're gonna get better wickets there.
Yeah, well that's about it today. I just thank you guys for joining a quick chat, kill the time. Well played, both of you, yesterday. I thought, Jonny, you're outstanding with the bat and the gloves. Bhuvi, I think you used your experience more than I've seen before. It was a hot day, it was very humid. And the way you bowled your overs and limped off pretending you're injured was outstanding. Just to get off the field and stop feeling. But you were both class acts. I'd just like to thank, again, Trevor Bayless for sponsoring this segment. Thank you, Trevor. These are the best copies we've ever had, so we'll put that on your room later. So to all our fans out there, this is the first of many podcasts. I've loved having Jonny and the great Bhuvi around, so we'll see you next time.